Welcome back, guys. It is Wednesday, a wacky Wednesday, which means we get to visit with our friend Michael Babcock at TMZ to get the scoop on today's hottest stories. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Kelly and Jeremy. Thanks so much for having me. How are you?
We're good. I love his hair. He's looking good with his white outfit there and your coiffed hairdo.
Thanks.
Now, Michael, do you have
if you ever wonder why I love coming on with you guys?
I was thinking you have an audition to be a male model after our interview or something.
No, I wish.
Look,
No.
look how his skin is just
glowing.
Stop.
Do you use J-Lo's
Glow by J-Lo?
Glow by J-Lo?
No, does it look like I do?
Yeah, you do. Yes, absolutely.
Man, when I was at your apartment, I should have gone through your medicine cabinet. I want what you have.
Medicine? Oh, medicine.
Well,
okay, well, we don't know.
Anyway,
we want to be just like you,
You
Michael.
have been over, Jeremy, right? So
I should have gone through all your stuff, your moisturizer.
And send me what he's using. Okay, so
I was at work, too. I wouldn't even have known.
You would not have known.
Okay, so we need to talk about Giselle. She's concerned about her hubby going back on the field. Yeah,
this is a really interesting story. So, first of all, the biggest season or story of the NFL offseason, I should say, was Tom Brady's retirement. And then after only 40 days, he came back. And, the backdrop of all that was sort of this notion that Giselle wanted Tom home with their kids, their family. She had talked about it over the years that since around when he was 40, that she wanted him to retire. Now he's 45 years old. This is his 23rd NFL season. So before the season started, so a few weeks ago, Giselle did an interview with Elle magazine, and she admitted that she has had multiple conversations. She said, I've talked to Tom about this over and over again, about us wanting him to be more present, but obviously he keeps going back and playing football. Mm-hmm. And she said, at a certain point, he's got to choose what makes him happy. And I just wonder what the other side of that looks like, because it doesn't seem right now like Tom playing football is what's making Giselle happy. And you wonder what happens from here. There have been reports that they're going to, they've lived separately, that they are having serious marital issues. And, although this interview was done before any of those reports came out, it certainly does seem like there's some tension at home for Tom Brady and Giselle.
Well, this might make sense of why he is retiring and then he's coming back and then he's retiring. I mean, maybe it's back
I think
and forth
that's a good point,
him.
Kelly.
Yeah.
It's obvious he didn't want to retire, right? Or he had the quickest change of heart. I mean, this is the greatest football player ever. So he had played 22 seasons in the NFL. He's the greatest football player ever. And then he retires. He's so sure he's done. He retires. And then only 40 days later, 2 months don't even pass, and he already wants to come back. So to me, that would, obviously no psychiatrist or psychologist here, but that would seem to me like somebody that didn't want to retire at all and possibly was receiving some outside pressure.
Can I give you my marital advice to them as somebody who's not married?
And then you want Michael to relay it to them.
Yes, and just call Tom after this. Here's what Giselle's got to think. It's when you're in a relationship like that, you have to support your partner. Even though you want him to be home, you have to think time flies so fast. It's one more year. And I don't know if they'll get to the big game or not this year. But the thing is, he's got to do it because otherwise he'll resent you. And you don't want resentment.
So it's a tough position.
It's a tough position.
The only thing I'd say to that, Jeremy, is that it's not like, us going to work and, we're going to be okay. We're going to come home at night. I mean, something bad could happen to you on the football field, God forbid. But, it's happened before. And, even if it wasn't a catastrophic injury on the field, and obviously hope that never happens. But, there's CTE. There are things that happen to football players. And the longer you play, the higher odds that you're going to have something bad happen. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but
do you think though he has
the fans are going to enjoy watching him?
You know how sometimes TV shows will end while they're on top, and some will drag out so long they've lost all their luster. Do you think he's having just trouble letting go of what he's good at?
Yeah, I think so.
He gave and I know we can't talk about Tom Brady the whole show. But
we could though.
He gave an interview the other day when he was leaving the field after week 1, and he said, something to the effect of, the locker room is, one of the only places where I feel like one of the guys. And, he is one of the most famous people everywhere he goes, except when he's in his locker room, because he's just sort of one of the guys on the team.
I get that.
And you wonder if that's a feeling that he doesn't want to let go of.
Yeah, it's a tough spot, and we could go on and on about that.
And just one more quick thing, too, because I'm hoping and praying, because Kelly and I talked about this yesterday. We're hoping and praying that Tom Brady is actually on this season of The Masked Singer. That's what we're hoping.
I hope so, too.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I'm feeling
we're hoping.
Like it's not. Yeah, I don't think so, but I'm with you. I mean, it would be a lot.
It would be
a lot
amazing.
of fun if he
It would be amazing.
rips off that mask. And
Okay,
stuff.
I'll wait on Giselle's side of the story. We'll talk
Yes.
about that later. Okay, okay. Now let's jump into the dark side. I don't know where we want to start.
Yeah, we'll let you steer it from
All
here.
right, well,
Careful with our language.
I guess the sex tape is happier.
Let's just call it the video.
Yeah.
Okay, the video. Yeah, I was going to ask. Right. Okay,
Yes.
the video. The video. There's been a lot of talk about the video lately, and mostly Ray J has been very upset at some of the things that the Kardashian family has said about the video. Sort of started when Kris Jenner went on a James Corden show, did a lie detector test, and said she didn't have anything to do with the tape being released. And Ray J responded with a nearly 45-minute video blasting them and poking holes in the story that Kris Jenner told. Well, now we've learned just how successful the tape was, and even early on. So the tape came out May 1st, 2007, and it in like a month's time, like no time, had already sold $1.4 million in sales. Many of those DVD sales, and there was actually an email that was sent to Kim and Ray J and said like, "Hey guys, these are what the sales are." And I think that would go to show that Kim did have some part in this tape being out there. Now what's really interesting is that Ray J says there's two of these tapes, and that one was made in Cabo, the other being made in Santa Barbara, and that Kris actually watched both.
Oh my gosh, this is
picked which
I can't even.
She liked, that she thought that Kim looked better in. So. Yeah, that's Ray J's side of things. I have a feeling that Kris would probably say no, but that's the side of the story that Ray J tells. So yeah, there's been a lot of talk. There was a lawsuit. I mean, weeks before the tape was released, there was a lawsuit that settled just days later. So this has been a crazy situation from the start with this tape.
I don't understand any of that.
Yeah, we only have a minute left. We trust you, Michael. We know your reporting is good, and I don't trust nobody in Hollywood, just what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not from Hollywood, so.
Right,
yes, I know you're Jersey boy. You're my Jersey boy.
All right, where are we going?
And we have a final one with the homicide investigation?
Yeah, this was terrible. I don't know if you heard about this. So PNB Rock, who was a brilliant musician, Monday, he is eating with his girlfriend at a restaurant in Los Angeles, and some people come in. They rob him and they shoot him dead on the floor of the restaurant.
Gosh.
And he had these really big chains, like expensive, beautiful chains that were taken. And now the police, they think that obviously the motive here was robbery. So they have talked to local pawn shops, and they have put those shops on alert. In the event that someone comes in with the necklaces, and then those shop owners hopefully will alert the police, and the police can then make an arrest. It was terrible. He was eating with his girlfriend, and she had tagged the location where they were at, and now it turns out that may have had something to do with the people who did this knowing where they were.
Right.
And they shot him dead after he had lunch for no reason.
Michael, I'm so sorry we're out of time, and that is intriguing. That's why I never tag where I've been until after I've left. You know what I'm saying? Like
me neither.
Yeah, until after I've already left the area. I'm serious.
I don't even think about that.
Yeah, I don't tag where I am until I'm already gone.
I do the same thing, Kelly. And
Good
this
idea.
guy, and I'm not this guy. This guy was a big star. I do the same thing.
Okay.
Michael, we love you so much. Good to see you again.
Guys too.
I'm going
I'll
to
see you
start
next
using
week.
Glow.
Glow by J-Lo.
Yeah.
See you next week. You can catch TMZ weekdays at 5 p.m. and TMZ Live weekdays at 2 p.m. right here on Fox 49. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come back and talk about Saturdays.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
I'm ready for some cider.
Yes, me too.
We'll be back.